schools. The Rebels lead the all-time series 3-1. Last time out was the Eagles of Heritage Christian's only win. That was a 51-32 victory back on February 8th of last year. The prediction from John Harrell, Rebels improved to 8-0 on Valentine's Day on the road all-time, 58-43.
Saying all that with all those stats, that's what that is. That's why we play the game, and we're looking forward to a very interesting contest on this St. Valentine's Day. And my lovely wife just texted me a message for you, Jimmy. Ice cream sounds good after the game. Make sure Keith stops by Culver's.
I will send him a reminder text on the way home. Debbie, happy Valentine's Day to you as well. Coach, some final thoughts before we step away for the prayer and the national anthem here for another exciting Circle City Conference matchup tonight.
Very quickly for the keys of the game, Roncalli just has to continue to put pressure on the Heritage Christian, and they have to hit some big-time baskets for Heritage Christian. They just got to get in the game and hit shots tonight. They have a dry spot a lot, so it'd be very interesting who takes the momentum.
We're going to step out. We'll be right back as we leave you with the prayer, followed by our step away with the national anthem.
In today's fast-moving business world, effectively marketing your company takes hard work, creativity, and the right team. With over 40 years of experience, PIP has been enabling companies large and small to find success in achieving their business objectives. We understand the challenges our clients face. That's why we have a variety of print solutions suited to fit your every need. Whatever your printing request may be, from a quick turnaround on a company brochure for an upcoming trade show, a direct mail piece that needs to be designed, printed, and mailed, to complex marketing projects, PIP is sure to have the right print solution for you. Nothing grabs attention like a well-crafted sign. It can transform virtually any surface into an eye-catching experience, boosting your marketing appeal. From banners, posters, floor graphics, and window decals, to wayfinding and yard signs. We not only help with sign design and getting it installed, we also integrate them into your overall marketing strategy, designed to help you win. PIP also provides best-in-class integrated marketing solutions to help you make the most out of your next campaign. Our approach to marketing ensures that your strategy is seamlessly executed across all media, online and offline, so your business always looks its best. At PIP, we understand it takes a team to achieve business growth, and that's why we're here to help. Get to know PIP and let us make your world a better place.
Back at Heritage Christian High School, now time to dive into the starting lineups. First for the visiting Roncalli Rebels. At one guard, a 6'2 junior, number 10, Anthony Donahue. At the other guard position, a 6'3 senior, number 11, Aiden Looney. At the other guard slot, a 6'1 junior, number 14, Thomas Felmuth. At the other guard slot, a 5'11 junior, number 22, Carson Ling. And in the middle, the forward at 6'7 and a senior, number 32, Daniel Asher. The Rebels are head coached by Michael Wantz, his 18th year at Roncalli, a record of 254 and 143.
Can you believe Michael has been here that long? It doesn't seem.
It's insane.
He's been here 18 years.
He is truthfully close to 7 years off, but very close to the only basketball coach that I've known at my alma mater.
Wow.
And the continued success for Coach Wantz. Obviously, a close to a 500 year this year, but year over year to have the winningest coach in program history at Roncalli. Truly a remarkable feat and a bar that's high across Central Indiana in high school basketball. The Heritage Christian Eagles starters are as follows. At one guard, a 6'1 sophomore, number 4, John McLemore. At the other guard spot, a 6'3 junior, number 10, Jack Belt. At the forward position, a 6' junior, number 12, Alex Belmer. At the other forward slot, a 6'2 sophomore, number 30, Zach Schlamer. And rounding out the Eagles starter, the big fella, the 6'4 sophomore, number 34, Mason Kay. Head coach of the Eagles is Corey Jackson. He's 81 and 80 in his 7th year at Heritage Christian, 102 and 103 in his 9th season overall. The Rebels in their blue jerseys, red numerals and lettering in the white trim. Meanwhile, Heritage in their traditional white jerseys with the white home unis, the white numerals, blue lettering and numerals, and the black trim.
Other games in the Circle City Conference tonight. Bishop Chatard is at Park Tudor. Buff is at Danville, and Covenant Christian is at University. Sitting at the top of the standings, Buff 3-0, Covenant Christian 4-1, Guerin Catholic 3-2, Chatard 2-3, Roncalli 0-3, and Heritage Christian 0-3.
It'll be Asher for Roncalli, jumping it up with Belt. Asher easily wins the tip. It's controlled and taken by the Rebels, and they will start with possession of the basketball. Happy Valentine's Day to you all here on Indiana SRN. We already mentioned the stat of the night. The Rebels are 7-0 all-time on Valentine's Day when on the road. They'll look to make that 8-0 tonight as a three-pointer on the left side is off the mark, but a nice rebound down low by the Rebels. That's taken and put back by Aiden Looney as the Rebels strike blood first. And with first blood being struck, let's go to Coach for his keys to the game tonight. Coach.
Again, Heritage Christian just has to run their offense. They got to hit the key shots, and then they got to knock out Roncalli early. Roncalli is notorious about making comebacks, especially on the road, and this should be a fun game. Hold on tight.
Schlamer controls, gives over the far right side to Belt. Belt is pressured by Felmuth. In the corner, he pitted his dribble in a bad spot and is trapped. Rebels with a general man-to-man look to start things off. The zone defense has been the biggest issue for the Eagles, at least in games that we've seen them, so a pleasant look for them, at least see something they're more comfortable with. Though solid defense all around by the Rebels, and still a lack of movement offensively by Heritage Christian. And moving around the horn, Micklemore thought about a triple. Now Belt, stout defense all around by the Rebels. Kay will force up a three. Got it! Mason Kay from downtown. Don't expect that from him all the time, but he delivers there and gives the Eagles their first lead of the ball game at 3-2.
And it amazes me. They took a minute off the clock and they satisfied themselves with a three-pointer.
And you can take as much time as you want off the clock so long as you get points out of it. As Felmuth shuffled the feet there, we always have to mention at least once a game. That's a major point of emphasis throughout the entire basketball season, and you can expect that to be even more so once sectional play rolls around here in a couple of weeks. Coach, you got to commit to dribbling before you decide to shuffle those feet.
This game, 100 for us, and we have seen that call 100 times.
Exactly. It is undefeated is the travel call of emphasis by the officials when one is shuffling the feet before a gather. Micklemore controls at the top of the key. He'll give to Schlamer. Schlamer's had some nice outings for the Eagles as a whole. One of their additional bright spots off the bench is Miles Colvin. We'd like to see him in the rotation along with fellow freshman Andrew Wiggins. Belt, he'll try a three. Same spot Kay hit his. His rattled out, though. Rebels want to push. Up the way. A bounce pass inside. A dunk attempt thought by Asher. He almost threw that one down with the right hand. Missed it, but he was fouled, and will head to the line to earn those the hard way.
Kay got him on the hook. Pretty impressive ups.
Very nice hops. Asher, the second leading scorer for the Rebels, averaging just under 11 points a game.
Just couldn't get it all the way down.
Yep, couldn't fully gather it, and then the contact by the Eagles didn't help either. Free throws are split by Asher, and we're all tied up at 3 apiece. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast a rivalry between these two schools. That's just a parochial and a Catholic habit of mine. These schools really don't have as much deep tradition as Chatard and Cathedral and Roncalli do, or Rebuff or Colonel Ritter. But Heritage, Coach, quietly, and in some sports not so quietly, especially volleyball, making their case known that they are the tippy top amongst the rest of these more well-known parochial programs in the Circle City Conference.
Yeah, they're making it known very quickly that they're going to make some noise in the conference.
It's been fun to see it grow over the last 5 years. No doubt it'll continue to do so. Schlamer hit that bucket a few moments ago, make it 5-3 advantage Eagles. Rebels looking for a shot. Solid defense so far by the Eagles. Looney thought about a straight-on three. Kicks to Donahue in the corner. That's a brick, and the rebound taken by the Eagles, and they'll wisely reset things to Schlamer. Sees a little bit of space. Now he'll kick left side to Belt.
It's good to see Belt back in the uniform. He was absent for 2 games because of concussion. 100% healthy, ready to play tonight.
That was a nasty
what a headed
hit that he took to suffer that concussion. But good to see Belt in one piece, and as you mentioned, Coach, getting quality minutes for the Eagles. Schlamer controls far right side with 4 minutes even to go in this first quarter. Belt leaves it for McLemore. Rebels now with a 2-3 zone look, it appears.
I kind of like how Heritage Christian's very patient and deliberate with the basketball.
Kind of a hybrid zone look, actually.
Yeah, it does. They extended, haven't they?
Schlamer in the corner, a little hesitation, forces the bounce feed. Belmer, air ball, and a foul on the rebound. Looney gathers it, Schlamer picks up the personal. The Eagles will continue to learn from this as time goes on, Coach, but with how young they are, future's very bright, but you can't get frustrated when the defense isn't giving you anything.
Exactly right. If you're that patient, be more patient,
Exactly.
right? Exactly.
Continue to practice patience, no matter how stout the defense is.
But it's tough as a kid because you just want to go.
The 2 freshmen we mentioned, Miles Colvin and Andrew Wiggins, 31 and 32 in white on your screen, have checked in during that stoppage. 3 in the corner, misfired by Felmuth. Board to McLemore. McLemore on the left side has has Colvin behind him. Didn't see him, instead gives to Belt. Belt. Nice move, floater up. He's fouled. We'll head to the line for 2. Well, Belt kind of changes the entire offense, Coach. As we mentioned, his absence was felt tremendously, especially during that skid, and obviously he's been back for some of the back end of this 4-game losing streak, but he adds another, this time an upperclassman at the guard position that can help facilitate things more, continue to give confidence to some of the underclassmen like Miles Colvin we mentioned, getting to learn underneath Belt and continue to build his offensive game. But you have another ball handler that's able to go and also be a playmaker like Belt did there to draw some free throws and head to the line.
Yeah, and you're 6'3", and instead of 5'11", you got a 6'3" kid. Makes a big difference.
Splits the pair. Correction, Belt had knocked in the first. Makes it 7-3. Kick on the right wing. Felmuth goes to the foul line. Gets a friendly roll.
Wow.
Thomas Felmuth, averaging just under 7 points per game, brings the Rebels within 2.
He thinks he was in the woodshed, didn't he? Nice soft rims.
Got that home cooking from the woodshed. McLemore down the lane, threw it at the side of the backboard, and the rebound controlled and taken by Looney. And again, another frustration foul committed by the Eagles, this time on McLemore. Take a look at the friendly roll that Felmuth received.
I just like how he goes to the top of the key, follows through.
That's a good
Those
looking
are
shot.
soft rims,
Yep.
man.
So this isn't the first weekend in March, the NCAA tournament, or last weekend of March, rather. They're not locked in.
I just want to know, during our production meeting, why I couldn't hit that same jump shot.
I don't know.
Down at that same rim.
If Ben would have been rolling, we could have broken that film
that's the
down.
problem.
To figure out
Ben was
who's
fouling me.
Lob at the rim. It's thrown down with 2
beautiful.
hands. Looney with the 2-handed jam from Ling.
Nice look.
Ties us up at 7. What a way to do it. Asher Thompson, the 5'9" guard for the Eagles, has checked into the game as well. Colvin feeling things around. Kale try another 3. That one's off the mark. Wiggins the board. Went and won that battle against Looney. Thompson to Colvin. Been a go-to playmaker for them when they've needed it. Bryce Riggle also in there as well. A lot of experienced guards out there for the Eagles. Kay gives to Thompson. Continual solid defense by the Rebels.
Like to see Wiggins post up underneath the back.
See if they try to roll with that. Colvin instead thinks he has to go make a play. Almost had it stripped. It's saved by Kay. 1:10 to go in this first quarter. All knotted up at 7 apiece in what has been a solid defensive effort by both teams. Riggle wants to reset things. Picked up his dribble in a bad spot. Might get a 5-second count on him. Instead gets to Thompson. Thompson feeling his matchup against Ling. Okay, now Riggle. Riggle trying to force the issue. Will they stay patient? Thompson, extra pass to Kay. Now Riggle gives to Colvin, the freshman, with 35 seconds. Works the crossover, spins, thought he got bumped. Rebels will push the other way. Donahue lays it in.
That's just great defense on this end from Roncalli. Great defense.
9-7, and it is a 6-0 run by the Rebels. Thompson.
There's just no movement.
A moving screen is going to be called against Riggle, and now the Rebels can hold for the last shot of the quarter. Let's take one more look at that alley-oop slam.
That's just beautiful.
Beautiful pass, and then the finish there
off screen
by Looney.
Off screen. Boy, if you're a Little League kid and you see that, man, you're so helpful off that screen.
Caught the Eagles napping. Ling. Skips ahead. High pass with 3. A lot of contact, and Colvin commits the cardinal sin of fouling with 2 seconds left on the clock. Thelmuth got him up. Colvin was left in no man's land, so
and
3 shots now upcoming.
And, Jimmy, really, he doesn't need to really contest that shot because he's forcing that shot. So that ball is going to be a line drive. You got to be smarter than that. That's being a freshman.
Yep.
So
got to be able to stay on your feet there. You can still contest it, but you can't get in a situation where you're making contact with the shooter, not letting him land.
Here it is. I mean, this is just pure frustration on Colvin's.
Yep. Can't have that. First 2 good. All 3 good. Colvin at the horn. Left it short. The Rebels close on a 7-0 run to make it Roncalli 12, Heritage Christian 7 at the end of 1. Stay with us. More after this on Indian SRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Oh.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School. Coach, I believe, is, I don't know what you're awing about, but.
Oh, the song.
Oh,
Danny,
the song, okay.
Danny K. Love, baby. Come
go.
on, Jimmy. When you get married, you get married in October?
October.
Yeah, we got to play this at your wedding.
We will.
In fact, I'll sing this at your wedding.
I don't know if I can allow that to happen. I appreciate that, though.
What, me singing at your wedding?
Yeah, I think I have to draw the line there.
The SRN guys, we're going to wear our suit jackets with the label SRN. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. We
the
can
pink ones with the yellow rose. That'd be beautiful.
Start of the second quarter, about to get underway.
Your fiance is going to be calling you real quick here.
Man, so I'll be in the doghouse.
Keep him away.
If we give you a solo, we have to give everybody a solo.
Yeah, there you go. I understand.
McLemore at the top. The Eagles on the wrong end of a 7-0 scoring run to close that first quarter. Thompson leaves it. Belmer 3. Way short.
Wow.
Rebound Rebels. Eagles got to be careful. I know the Rebels are 8-9, but they'll run away from you in a hurry if you're not careful with the basketball. Second chance and 50-50 ball to the Rebels. Aggressive drive, finger roll, up and in that time for Lynch.
Well, they stretched this to 7. You got to be careful because this could get away from you quick, Jimmy.
Yep. Exactly what I mentioned, Coach. They can't toy around with this. The Rebels will put you to bed early if you're not careful. It's now a 9-0 scoring run since the midway point of the first quarter. That one almost a turnover, but it bounced off the hip, I believe, of Looney. So it'll stay here, and the Eagles trying to go with a spark plug, the young man who started the season on the JV roster, Jonathan Dorsch, the sophomore, checking into the ball game. Dorsch quickly on a give and go, catches, fires in and out. Good look for him, though. Board to Looney. Here come the Rebels. Aiden at the top. Leaves for Nick Spearing, who just checked in during that quarter break. Carson Ling at the top. Ling has it. Working on Wiggins. Spearing a bounce pass, but Looney wasn't ready for it. Steal by the Eagles. Up ahead, McLemore kicks. Dorsch, he'll fire away again. That one off the mark as well. Two good looks for Jonathan Dorsch.
Got to follow your shot, Jonathan.
Yeah, didn't do that there. Plenty to learn for the sophomore as well. Mentioned a big youth movement on this Eagles team. Plenty for them to learn game in and game out. Especially little things like that that'll show up in the film room. Three is rattled in by Anthony Donahue. He's got 5. 2 of which came in that first quarter. It is now a 12-0 run, and the Eagles want a timeout.
30-second timeout.
30-second timeout will stay here. Let's take one more look at that triple by Donahue.
While we have time real quick at this 30-second timeout, we would be remiss if we don't say hello to the radio crew. I know we already talked about Rob Brown, but we got to talk about the color guy, and it's our good friend Dave Lack, the AD.
Yep.
He got summons tonight because the young guy that's supposed to work with Rob could not make it. So Dave stepped in, and I told him that we could give him pointers, and he didn't want to take any of our pointers. I think he was too afraid.
Hey, anytime you could go to your bench and you have coach and athletic director Dave Lauk coming off the bench here, you got to be happy. Rebel Media Network always keeps a good reserve staff.
Great guy.
Both of them are. Shouts to Rob and Coach Lauk for obviously with what Coach Lauk does for us on Indian SRN, especially during volleyball season when we have
Tremendous.
Some games at the Woodshed, wrestling meets as well, and then Rob for all he's done for broadcasters, myself included, all across the state. A 3-pointer on the left wing.
Mason K.
K's second ends that run. It was a 12-0 scoring run by Roncalli. Let's take one more look at that triple from K.
Look how he sets his feet. That's just nice play.
A scoring drought of about 5.5 minutes of game time for the Eagles.
That's a long time.
They find themselves down 7. In need of some help from their defense. Force pass inside. Kind of bullying against everybody is Looney, and he goes over the back to try to knock that out for an extra possession. So the Eagles get the stop they were looking for.
Don't forget, Indiana SRN has girls regional action tomorrow. Southwestern High School is the place where Greenwood Christian takes on their opponent. And also, then don't forget, we're also at Southmont as Covenant Christian takes on their opponent for girls regional right here on Indiana SRN Radio.
I'm going to blink twice, and the basketball season in high school level at the state of Indiana is going to be over.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Less than 6 weeks away.
Continuing to crawl right along.
Baseball season starts in 12 weeks.
Man.
Into winter.
Well, that is wild. Belt, 3, short. Rebound secured and taken by Cobb. Pass around the horn. A little bit of a hesitation. Donahue off the mark. Board secured to 1 by Babb.
How about that? He just went after it, Jimmy. Nobody blocked him out.
Yep. Off the bench. The junior doing work on the boards. They force it to Babb. Extra pass. Holler. Traveled first. As Coach mentions there. Give it back to the Eagles. 3:59 to go in this first half. Just 3 points scored. It's around this time in the first quarter. And that three-pointer, of course, just came about 90 seconds ago for the Eagles. The Rebels, meanwhile, on an extended 12-3 run. Belt gives to McLemore. Almost had his pocket picked. He does. It's stolen away by Donahue. All the way to the rim. Coast to coast he goes. 19-10. Rebels bump their lead to 9.
Donahue with 7.
Eagles searching for answers. Belt a floater. Off the mark. Board to the Rebels. A 2-on-2. Nice bounce feed. Extra pass. Donahue. Wide. Board, though, to Looney. Whip around pass. Catch and shoot. Aller. Bang. Puts it in. Luke Aller extends the lead to 12. Largest of the game for the Rebels with 3 minutes even to go in this first half. Eagles in desperate need of a basket.
Roncalli's on fire.
And a timeout taken, a full timeout by Coach Jackson and the Eagles. We'll step away as well. 2:55 to go in this first half. All Rebels on the road. They lead it by 12.
Hello, my name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the Indiana SRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at Indiana SRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at indianasrn.org. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Hey, Jimmy.
What's up, Coach?
This is how I used to play defense at Thomas Carr Howe. You ready?
Yep.
Watch this replay. See that strip? That is me. But you see this?
Did you finish?
No.
No.
I wouldn't get it up on the rim. Now, here's how I used to shoot three-pointers back in the day. Well, we're not going to – yeah, here we go. See that?
Beautiful.
I would not even come close to making that, Jimmy.
Catch and shoot, knock it in. Today or ever?
Ever.
It's a tough shot.
It is. Especially you're my age.
Beautiful pass as well. That three-pointer bumped the Rebel lead to 12. It's largest of the night. Eagles with about 2.5 left in this first half to try to find some answers. Kay's been a bright spot, but that shot's off the mark. Almost a frustration foul again on the Eagles. But they decide to run back on defense. Donahue to the left. One of the air marks for the Eagles has been their defense this year. It's kept them in a lot of games, but even that's falling apart right now. It was a beautiful feed inside to Babb, the junior, and the lead is a balloon to 14.
They will pass the ball for the best shot every single time down the floor.
And they cut, and they're very stealthy about it. And if you take your eye on them for a second, it's going to bite you in the rear. That's happened many a time to the Eagles so far tonight. It's just better offensive movement, better understanding and a feel for teammates of where each other's going to be before they're going to be there. And the Eagles' defense has been getting whacked left and right, and their offense hasn't been able to figure out the Rebels' defense. It's been all Roncalli so far.
Yeah, and it shows you the maturity of a team and the youth of a team very easily. Indeed. For you.
Lob inside. Layup is true. They just went from the top of the key to the block to Asher. He puts it in. 16-point lead, largest for the Rebels, grows again. It is a 21-3 extended run by the Rebels since the 4.5 mark of the first quarter. Okay, fakes the triple. McLemore, heavily pressured, bodied up a little bit. They say play on. Under a minute now in this first half. Belt forces the issue, and he walked with it first. 21-3, Coach. That at any level, maybe not so much pro basketball nowadays, but college or high school, you get outscored 21-3, you've put yourself 6 feet under, and you're trying to claw your way back the rest of the contest. Not impossible, but got a lot of ground to make up.
I want to say a quick hello to Marilyn and Bob Hasty watching this down in Florida. Thanks very much for joining us. John Hasty is one of the assistant coaches at Roncalli.
Hopefully they're watching on the beach.
That's what I would be doing. 85 degrees.
Exactly. High-low action again, and this time it's finished by Asher for the second straight possession. 23-21 7-3. Extended run for the Rebels. Just 3 points scored in this quarter by Heritage Christian. Schlamer almost walked with it. Another steal. Up ahead. Babb with some contact lays it in. 30-10, a 20-point advantage. The heave at the horn by Belmer. Off the mark. We love Heritage Christian. We love the basketball they've had this season, but by far the worst quarter that we've seen from them in 2019-2020. A 20-point advantage for the Rebels as we step away for the halftime break. Eagles will have a little bit of time to reset, regroup, and try to come back with a rally. You're watching on Indiana SRN.
Recently, I announced my retirement from the Indiana High School Athletic Association after 20 years of service to the organization and 41 years of education. I want to take this opportunity to thank the hundreds of folks who have sent messages from across the country, statewide and locally, thanking me for the service to the association. I'm humbled by all of those messages. I've tried to respond to all of them, and I look forward to greeting you in person in the days to come. And speaking of the days to come, we still have a semester, a half a year left with some great IHSAA championship events coming forward. We're looking forward to a great winter season that's upon us right now, and of course a great spring to conclude our 2019 and 20 school year. As I look back on 20 years here at the association, and particularly the last 9 as commissioner, I think the things that I'm probably most proud of would be the formation of the IHSAA Foundation and the work that the foundation continues to do in training coaches and training young leaders, and also being a philanthropic arm to the association and the potential of growth for the foundation. I'm very excited about that and looking forward to continuing my involvement with the foundation in retirement. The partnership that we have with Special Olympics Indiana is probably the brightest spot of what I would call my career achievements. The opportunity to have young people with and without intellectual disabilities participate together on a team at their high school to represent their school in a varsity sport through our unified sports program has been tremendously rewarding. And as it continues to grow, I'll watch from afar, but look with pride at what has happened within our membership and the inclusion revolution and what we've been able to do with our friends at Special Olympics. I would tell you that I'll miss the people. I won't miss board meetings. I'll make more tea times, but I'll miss the people. This is a relationships business. You develop relationships with your colleagues, with school administrators and coaches, contest officials, business leaders from our community. And I'll miss the contact with them on a regular basis, but I still plan to keep in contact with them. And then finally, just to thank all of you for all your support of the IHSAA and what we're trying to do with education-based athletics in the state of Indiana.
Back at halftime with the score 30-10. Roncalli over Heritage Christian. With us now is Jenny Johnson. She is the cheerleading coach at Heritage Christian. And Jenny, it's hard to get your team motivated when you're down by 20 at halftime. But you guys do a good job all year long, not only football, basketball, but you do a great job for these kids.
Thank you. Thank you. The girls work hard. We start in the summer, and we're ready to go, no matter what happens, no matter what the scoreboard says. So thank you.
Talk a little bit of it, because when you took over this place, it was dire need. Someone needed to be a leader. You have taken these girls, they believe in you, but they also believe in your message, and it's Jesus first and being a servant, and they bought into that, and that's what they do being their cheerleader.
Without a doubt. Our team verse this year is 2 Timothy 1:7, which talks about God giving us a spirit of power and love. And we definitely want that for these girls. We want them to feel emboldened for Christ, and but also with a message of love, and that we're a part of this school, and we want to just bring more girls into this group to just be kind of ambassadors for Jesus and through this great school.
The other thing is you're not only doing tonight's game, but you're going to be busy tomorrow for some odd reason.
We're going in the morning. We can't wait to cheer on our Lady Eagles, and yeah, we're going to bring home another W. So they make it a lot of fun for us too.
This girl is more busier than anybody else in the program because she has to do all of it. If there's people out there who would like to sponsor you or your team, how do they contact you and how do they sponsor you?
Oh, that'd be great. I'm on the Heritage Christian the website under the athletic department, or they can just call us. We would bring it. We would welcome that.
They fed us tonight, so we kind of love those guys because they gave us Subway tonight. Ginny, thank you so much. You guys do a great job. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have a lot more for you. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
We're sitting there going over
In athletics, we embrace the school's mission to glorify God, pursue excellence, and disciple students. This mission is at the core of who we are, driving our students and coaches to pursue athletics in a distinctive way that brings honor to Jesus Christ. Athletics teaches students about the value of competition, about teamwork and goal setting, about respect and hard work. The privilege of interscholastic athletic participation can be one of the most rewarding experiences in a student's life. The responsibility associated with this privilege can help the student athlete maintain proper perspective and serve as a reminder of what is truly important in life. We win through sports if we develop competitive and successful athletic teams and individuals. We win through life if we glorify God to be the best that we can be. As we build on our statewide reputation of athletic excellence that emphasizes sportsmanship and outreach, I look forward to seeing how God will continue to use Heritage Christian Athletics to impact our community.
The greatest thing ever said about mankind was that we were made in God's image. And
the best thing for me about Heritage is that you form such close relationships with teachers and other students. It's just amazing for me to be walking down the hallway and to run into one of my old elementary school teachers and they still remember my name. They'll come up and give me a big hug and be like, Rachel, oh, how are you doing? Like, tell me about your life.
That's right. That's right.
We are integrating a biblical worldview into everything that we do here. Every class that we have, every relationship that's here on campus, every athletic activity, team, club, fine arts, that's part of the value proposition of discipleship here at Heritage. And how our faculty and staff speak into and pour into our student lives is so important. And you see that in so many ways. You see it obviously in the classroom, but you also see it with teachers who lead clubs, who are talking and tutoring with students after school, who really care about what's going on in our students' lives, and they're there to make a difference.
I am Heritage.
Heritage Christian.
I am Heritage. I am Heritage.
Every hurt and every sting, he has walked the suffering, he knows.
Heritage Christian High School, where the score is the Rebels 30, the Eagles 10. Jimmy Cook alongside the coach, Keith Myers. Thanks again for spending Valentine's Day with us as the Eagles find themselves in that 20-point hole thanks to a 3-point second quarter. The Rebels outscored them 18-3, and Coach, I did mean what I said, that this is a young Eagles team, but we've seen them play some solid quarters throughout this entire year. That was by far their darkest hour that we've seen this season.
You know, I coached this game for 21 years, Jimmy, and you got games like that where your young kids just don't understand, or they just are just so shell-shocked. There's another three-pointer by Roncalli.
He's got 8.
And you know, there's nothing you can do about it. You got to learn from it. and you got to get over it. And to thank goodness that your freshmen and sophomores become juniors and sophomores, So long way to go, but boy, they got a lot of work ahead of them.
This is a 28-3 extended run by the Rebels. It started at the 4:30 mark of the first quarter, and the lone basket was at about the 6-minute mark of the second quarter for the Eagles. That was a three-pointer knocked in by Mason Kay. Since that time and during that stretch, it's been all Roncalli. And the analogy I always like to use is a nice drive there, forcing the issue that time was Alex Belmer. The junior will have to earn the points the hard way at the charity stripe with 2 shots upcoming. But, Coach, the analogy I always like to use, especially when I got my start at Roncalli broadcasting games with Rob, was in a deficit like this, you're like a sculptor. You have to be careful and chip away at it. You're not going to get it all back in one possession, but you got to slowly chip away, play solid defense, consistent offense, and then give yourself a chance at the end to steal it.
Yeah, and every opportunity, just like when the clock has stopped, you got to knock down free throws, and he's done a good job of doing that.
Both free throws there made by Belmer, his first points of the evening.
But to talk about that, Jimmy, when your leading scorer is Mason Kay and he has 6 points on the night in the first half, that's really tough.
Nice projection initially, but staying with it is Asher. He gets to go. He's now got 7.
He's played a pretty good ball game. He's a big body, too. He's tough to move out of the way.
They've been able to easily feed him from the top of the key to the block where he likes to operate. And the other thing about that, Coach, in regards to Mason Kay, is that he's your leading scorer and he's your leading scorer tonight, but he's a big fellow that likes to use post moves. His 6 points are from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
They're not done the traditional way that you'd expect him to.
Good point,
in
Jimmy.
A matchup to watch for with Asher and Kay.
Yeah, very good points. They're patient with the basketball. They're running the off. I mean, Corey's doing exactly what he's told him to do at halftime. Going to run the offense, going to be patient, and just take your time.
McLemore in trouble.
Might have picked up his dribble a little bit too soon.
Gives to Belmer. He'll try to back in. There's not as many screens. There's not as much movement, which comes to the young team. You're going to get that. But you're right, Coach. At its base, they're doing what Coach Jackson has asked of them, but there's still – and it's starting to get a little bit better as I say this now, but there hasn't been enough movement tonight to try to free up one of your big contributors and to get in the scorebook. McLemore forces it. Off the mark, Kay the board, and he's fouled. Good seal that time on the box out. Second foul on the Rebels this quarter.
See, I like Kay down there at the post there. That's where he's going to be making some noise.
Deep lob. Belmer, floater, short. Almost off the Rebels, but Ling's there to gather it. Ling will push. Left side, now top to Looney. Kick in the corner, catch and shoot. Off the mark. Asher, the board, secured by Ling.
Boy, I tell you what, he did a nice job of patting that ball and then getting back in the right side of the court before the over and back.
Hesitation move. Now Donahue will reset things. Rebels, like Coach mentioned and alluded to on that last play, they've been kind of a step ahead, a step more graceful. To say that, of course, they turn the basketball over.
That's when you go weak side, where's my weak guy?
Exactly. Nobody home.
That's
Casper on the wing.
That's Saturday morning at the YMCA when we're playing, Jimmy.
Exactly. Exactly. But for the Rebels, I mean, it has been. It's been one of those situations. And you go back to Heritage Christian had a game to open the season against Cardinal Ritter. It wasn't the season opener, but it was very close to it in this very building.
Game 3, yep.
And they had a similar game. Now, by this point in that game, they were starting their rally, but they had an awful first half, a dreadful second quarter. They were down double figures. They clawed their way back. They would eventually lose that game, but they fought, they clawed, they got their way back in it. Unfortunately, though, for the Eagles, with the margin that's here right now being 23, time is your biggest enemy. No shot clock, obviously, in Indiana high school basketball. And you're going to have to start scoring soon.
Yep. Looney picked up his third foul away from the ball.
We talk about how important patience is, Coach, but at some point you need a playmaker to go get you a bucket. Colvin's been that guy handful of times as the freshman. Let's see if he does it here. Colvin forces the pass. Schlamer forces the issue himself and gets to go. Zach Schlamer now with 4. Lead down to 21.
Got a score for you. Lawrence North 48, Ben Davis 32 at halftime.
Ooh. Keep an eye on that one, along with all of our scores across the Indian SRN family of networks. Skip pass, almost a turnover, but it's saved. And a foul, or excuse me, a timeout of the full variety called by Coach Wantz and the Rebels. We'll step away as well. 3:09 to go in this third quarter. It's still all Roncalli. They lead it by 21.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Never miss a game on Indiana SRN. You can check out our YouTube page at Indiana SRN. Click that subscribe button, and you have the reminders. You have every single game, and you get the replay.
Exactly.
Yep, you got it all.
We've got it all here, at least if you're a Rebel fan. 35 points through a little over 2.5 quarters of play. Heritage, meanwhile, still searching for answers. And ordinarily, Coach, they've been able to lean on their defense, but Roncalli, a lot of upperclassmen on this team, mixed with some underclassmen, but they just pass a little crisper. Their cuts are a little sharper, and they got some size down low. Right there, that was Asher, but it's off the mark, and now Colvin will push. The electric freshman puts it up there. Took a bad roll for him. Rebound cleared by Asher. On the far left, Asher heavily pressured by Micklemore, and they force a steal out of it. Solid defensive play there by the Eagles. Schlamer gives to Colvin. He'll be the primary point guard, at least with the members out there right now. Finds a man, it's Micklemore. Wiggins, the other freshman, trying to bully inside. Colvin, catch and shoot. Freshman to freshman off the mark. Rebound by Link.
They just can't buy a basket.
Nope. Sometimes when you're hot, the rim looks like the ocean. When you're cold, it looks like you're trying to throw a basketball into a coffee cup. Been kind of how things have gone for the Eagles since the mid stages of that second quarter. A 30-7 extended run for the Rebels. Since the middle of that first quarter. Contact inside, forcing the issue was Donahue. He'll head to the line for 2 free ones. Coach, I'm gonna take to the podium here during this free throw, and I'm going to preach again for something that I have little power over. If there was a formula to commission the IHSAA, I would do this. In football, when you reach a certain amount of time that you're up, and I understand, you know, that it's a different game, but when you reach a certain level that you're up, there's running clock implemented. I wonder if there'll ever be a time in high school basketball where that same philosophy occurs.
No.
You don't think so?
No, it's Indiana. It's Indiana. I agree with. I like the shot clock idea. Sean Crawl, one of our guys.
One of the two would be helpful.
Yeah, one of the guys that we work with a lot. He has written a proposal about the shot clock, and it's a very interesting proposal. It's a 40-second shot clock, believe it or not, and I think it would work in high school basketball. When you talk to the athletic directors, they say it's the expense of it, but I think you could find it would be only a one-time expense.
Colvin down the lane, and he's fouled by Asher. It would be a one-time It would be a one-time expense. I've been around high school athletics enough. I'm not going to sit here on a podium and say that IHSAA should cover those expenditures. But that would be nice. I think it'd be possible. But schools are very good at raising money. If it was mandated by the IHSAA, and that's another thing, you go further. I'm not saying they would do this, but quick way to raise money is, well, hey, you're not going to be able to field a basketball team unless you get a shot clock. Well, they'd find a way to make it happen, I'm sure. I'm being a little too aggressive there.
It's a little aggressive.
But
But I see your point, but I could see, the shot clock could really – it could expedite the game. It could also make it very interesting because you have to shoot the ball every 40 seconds.
And 40 seconds is not harpening the skills and ability of these players.
Oh, no, not at all.
Because it's 30 at the next level, and it's 24 at the one before that. Wiggins knocks away a pass, sends it into the stands, almost hit the lone eagle over there.
The only thing with the shot clock is if you hit the rim, I would like to see it be then reset to 24 seconds instead of another 40. But I like what the college game has done with the shot clock.
Yep. Inside again, Asher puts it up, pushes it in. Yeah, I mean, at the NBA level, you see it reset, I believe, to 12.
Yes.
And then the college level, I think it's 14. So there's marks there for each of them as that shot was off the mark down low by Wiggins, and it apparently went off his fingertips. Lead is 21 with 57.5 to go in this third quarter.
Our buddy Justin Griffin is at Carmel tonight as Carmel taking on Hamilton Southeastern. 34-29 Carmel at halftime. Thanks, Justin.
Appreciate that, Justin.
We got reporters everywhere tonight, Jimmy.
All over the state. Aggressive drive and some contact.
Tomorrow, Sean Crawl and myself will be going to Sophmont. It's Covenant Christian will play Triton Central, number 1 Triton Central in girls regional.
It was
get up early tomorrow morning at crack of dawn to get to Sophmont by 9:30.
It was Nick Spearing forcing the issue there. His first free throw is good. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. It was a 5 a.m. start for me this morning, 2 degrees, Jimmy. It was bitterly cold.
My fiance was studying for a HR certification exam, and so she was not at the house. It was me and the dog, and ordinarily she takes the pooch out in the mornings. I had to brace that cold as well.
Yeah.
Take the doggy outside.
Yeah.
Not fun to wake up to the single digits.
Yeah, you went back to bed, though.
You're right, I did.
I didn't.
Pass in the corner, a three-pointer's off the mark. Rebels up the way. Shot right in between the eyes of the defense. Down low is Matthew Babb.
I got him for 6.
As do I, 4 of which came in that first half. The lead is 26. Final 5 seconds of this third quarter. Foul committed by Donahue with 5.4. Be the 15th foul on the Rebels. More subs. Carson Linked back in, as is Thomas Felmuth. Jonathan Dorsch to inbound. Foul against Donahue is first. We mentioned the 5th on the team. 5.4 to go. Dorsch the trigger man in this third quarter. Catch and shoot. Thompson off the mark. No more shots will get up. That one would not have count had it gone down. So 3 quarters completed. All Roncalli. They lead it on this Valentine's Day edition of Indiana High School basketball on Indiana SRN. 42-16 at the end of 3. Final quarter up next.
Our family has been very happy working with Wallflower Pictures.
Because they make sure that I get the acting skills that I need in this industry and the education that I need.
Wallflower Pictures supports UV's journey in the industry. They're very passionate about his growth, and they're very professional and attentive to our needs.
And I truly believe in the projects I've worked on, like For the Boys and The Walk.
We love working with Wallflower Pictures.
Hey, don't forget to miss it. Don't ever miss a game on Indiana SRN.
How could you?
Because it's very easy not to, because you can just subscribe to our YouTube page at Indiana SRN. You can make every single game. Hit the bell, and you'll get a notification right away.
Hit that subscribe button, folks. That's the moral of the story. That's the coach, Keith Myers. I'm Jimmy Cook. 8 minutes left on the clock in this one. A laugher for the Rebels. They're going to improve to 8-0 in road games on Valentine's Day, barring a miraculous comeback by the Eagles. And they'll be 9-2 all-time on Valentine's Day. Those stats courtesy of the great Rob Brown of the Rebel Media Network and the SID at Roncalli High School. Bodies on the deck as a turnover forced by the Rebels. As they run with things, we're running through the basketball season all year long here on Indiana SRN as a blocking foul called against the Eagles, and free throws upcoming for the 6'3 senior Aiden Looney. But, Coach, as we run through this season, it's hard to believe that sectional play is right around the corner. And you mentioned it, we're just about 6 weeks away, such a sad thought, from the high school basketball season being under wraps.
Yeah, you look at the sectionals and you look at the 4A top 5, and you just look at sectionals coming. Indiana SRN will have every single sectional game. We'll have at least 8 first-round games for you on the network. But you look at Bloomington South, Lawrence North, Lawrence Central, Chesterton, and Addix in the top 5. Addix playing a very tough game tomorrow against Culver Academy, which is on Indiana SRN. You have that ball game with CJ. I know you guys have had production meeting already about that game. You're excited about that.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that contest. Addix, of course, winning their first city title in half a century. And the entire community for Addix, that city championship meant quite a bit to them, especially because obviously the state title was already in the trophy case from a couple years back. But there's a lot of talks in that community that even though the success factors put them in 4A, they might add another one this postseason. They're going to have just as good a shot as anybody. And, in fact, if the 5th-ranked team in Class 4A can be a dark horse, because I think they're underrated,
yes,
I would pick them as my dark horse to win it all.
Yeah, and then you look at 3A, you got Silver Creek, Danville, Heritage Hills, Norwell, Greensburg. Greensburg's playing very well. Last time they lost was during December. They are number 5. That Silver Creek team just very good, and every single kid back from last year's state championship game.
I tell you what, if you're looking as a young 8th grader or young youth trying to see how the game of basketball is played well at the high school level, that Silver Creek team is one of the best models to look after. You mentioned it, Coach. They're still rolling from last year, and at the top at 18-2, they're going to be a tough out wherever they end up, assuming they do get to that regional round. Like we said, everybody does make the tournament, so you never know where upsets can happen, but that Silver Creek team is a lot of fun to watch.
As we're recapping, as again, nice basket for Heritage Christian on Dortch coming off the bench, and it is now 46-18 with 6:20 to play in the fourth quarter. Jimmy, let's look at 2A real quick. You got Linton Stockton, Shenandoah, Fort Wayne Blackhawk, a team that Addix beat by 9 last weekend. You have Westview, and then sitting at number 6, I think the dark horse could win it all, is University. They're playing Covenant Christian tonight.
Well, we saw University already do some work on the Eagles just a few days ago. And for University, sitting in that 6th spot right now in the Class 2A rankings, obviously the rankings don't really have a big picture impact on how the tournament goes, but I think you're exactly right, Coach, and there's another one I'm going down a little bit further. Evansville Mater Dei, they're always in that conversation, especially the last 3 years, to make deep runs in the Class 2A tournament. I would be willing to bet some money that they're going to make some noise again this year.
We'll look at 1A in just a second as we have 5:40 to play in this fourth and final period. Roncalli has just really dominated this game after the 3-minute mark of the first quarter, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was and still is, a 43-11 run, 43-13 run now, since the mid-stages of that first quarter. Roncalli has blown the doors off of the Eagles tonight. A tough loss for Heritage Christian, again barring a miraculous comeback. but they're still going to have 2 of their next 3 games right here at Heritage Christian. Plenty of opportunity for them to still make a nice turn of the corner down the home stretch into postseason play.
As we will, quick look at 1A, Greenwood Christian sits at number 1, Gary 21st Century 2, Barb Reed 3, Lagodi 4, Cowes is 5. You look all the way down, Providence Cristo Rey has been ranked for the first time in school's history. They are 7th. Covington, a team that I seen last week, is very good. But you go all the way down to number 14. Tri-Central has played very, very well. This is a gimme in 1A, but I think Greenwood Christian down south, I think Johnny Marlin has got that team rolling. And I really think Ben has hit that on every week as they've crept up at his top 10.
And no doubt. And on my end, I mean, the only other name that we only mentioned once there would be Bar Reeve, obviously sitting at the 3 spot in the Class 1A rankings. And then, of course, you mentioned Providence Cristo Rey, but always making some noise and always popping up on a lot of people's radar once we get into the postseason time is Lafayette Central Catholic. They're so good at home, but when you get into postseason play and you get all around the travel across the state, LCC always is a fun team and a tough out if you draw them in your side of the bracket.
Riggle knocked down both free throws. We saw Lafayette CC play Guerin Catholic, and I tell you what, they took them to the woodshed, so to speak. And, Ben Wood is big time on Gary, 21st Century player. He thinks he's going to be Mr. Basketball, but I think Sincere McMahon could be a good candidate as well.
Yeah, McMahon definitely deserves to belong in that conversation. And one opportunity for Andrew Wiggins. McMahon, actually, I'll back that and go even further. Arguably the best player on that Addicts roster and one of the best players not only in Central Indiana but the entire state. He deserves to be in that conversation.
And I think the confidence that they had in the second overtime of the city tournament when they lost Sincere McMahon with 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, played 2 overtimes without him, and they had confidence. And that's why I think there'll be a tough out in 4A.
Those mid-season tournaments, that type of experience that you gather as a collective unit, that is what you want to be able to point to come postseason time. You're down 5, you're down 7 in a regional, backs are against the wall, you're flustered. We've been here before. We know we can do this. We lost our top scorer and arguably our top player, and we took it to 2 overtimes at B Cathedral for our first city title in half a century.
Yeah,
anything's possible when you get a win like that. It changes the entire conversation within your locker room.
It helps that you got a 6'8" freshman who believes he's a three-point shooter underneath the basket.
That can help a little bit.
Yeah.
Back here for these 2 teams, Coach, specifically starting with Heritage Christian. I've harped on it enough. I admire the entire program that Coach Jackson is running here. There's a lot of young talent, a lot of players on this roster like Wiggins, like Colvin, like Micklemore that impress me a great deal. But that second quarter was the worst quarter that I've seen from them so far this year. That being said, though, you've seen that worst quarter. There's plenty to learn from this game, and the future is still bright on this youth movement at Heritage Christian.
Well, the other thing is that their sectional is at home. So, you swing, you get hot, and you could steal the first-round game. Anything's possible. And if you get the bye game, you win that bye, and you win that game on Friday night, you turn around and play Saturday night. You're a sectional champion.
Don't lose to the bye. That's
exactly right.
That's not the way you want the season to go.
That's exactly right, though.
You're exactly right. I mean, and that's the beauty of the draw, because it doesn't matter how good you play in the regular season. You could be one of the bottom-tier teams, and suddenly you got that bye, and now you're in the conversation of, wow, we could actually win this thing. Colvin a 3, that's well short. Rebound tracked down and saved back to Colvin. Miles works around as the Eagles continue to operate with 3:10 to go in this fourth quarter.
Jimmy, I can remember in 2003 in the Christian School State Tournament that we were in, we were the number 1 team going into the city in the state tournament. We played an 8 seed because we seeded our tournament. We played an 8 seed. That 8 seed took us to a double overtime, and we had to win that game in a double overtime. That's how tournament play is. You get fired up. You never know. what team you're going to, how bad you played yesterday, you can play that good the next day because they're young kids. They're still 15, 16, 17 years old.
With this win, again, assuming the Rebels hang on, they will have won 3 of their last 6 games, including now a 2-game win streak. But, of course, the sectional the Rebels are in at Class 4A, one of the toughest in the state. Likes of Decatur Central, Southport, Ben Davis, Pike, and Perry Meridian to round that out, along with Roncalli.
How would you like to play that sectional?
No, that's not one you want to wake up with.
The coolest thing is you get to play at Southport.
Exactly.
I like to play in that field house.
Not a bad gig there.
Yeah, there will only be 5,000 people watching those sectional. Yeah.
No big deal. No big deal whatsoever. The Rebels 0-3 in intra-sectional play. It's been, as we mentioned, a down year for Coach Watts and company, but they're starting to hit their stride a little bit. Needed to get a win here at Heritage. They've done that so far, and a turning point for them, even though it's a tough sectional. Once you get past that sectional, if you move on.
The other thing that we haven't even talked about all night is the city conference. They played Mabuff the last game of the year, Jimmy. They could beat Mabuff. Covenant Christian can tie for the conference championship.
It's pretty phenomenal.
Crazy.
That's not something that anybody would have predicted to start the season. Micklemore off the mark. Rebound taken. Under 2 minutes to go.
You don't think Scott Flatt would send flowers to Michael?
I don't doubt that at all. Maybe a nice greeting card. I don't know if he'd go so far as flowers.
Box of chocolates, baby.
Maybe.
Man.
Oh.
I could tell you stories.
Maybe he'll send him a piece of the net.
My conference foe beat someone a few years back, and I sent the guy a box of nuts, cashews, because he liked cashew nuts. The first game of the year, the next year, he brought it out. He says, no need. This year is our turn.
That's well played. That's a good response. Kay down low, puts it up and in, cuts the lead to 20, and
he's got 8.
Kay's been still in leading scoring honors.
Yes, sir.
With those 8 points. 70 seconds to go. All Rebels.
We'll have an interview after the game with Coach. Winning coach.
Tell Coach Watts I said hello.
I will. I'll send great greetings.
I appreciate that. Okay. Colvin tried to jump the passing lane.
He does know who you are, right?
He does.
Okay, good.
He does.
Are you related to him? Because
No.
you're related to everybody else at
there's
Roncalli. Okay, good.
It is a deep-rooted community there, but no, I'm not.
Okay.
Not related
By the
to
way,
Coach Watts.
good luck to Roncalli and the Rebels, Parameridian, and all the other wrestlers tomorrow. We have this semi-state from Newcastle tomorrow, a 3 o'clock start. Jerry and the crew is set. Boy, what a great crew you got.
I have a bone to pick with you, by the way.
Okay.
So, as you know, congrats to my Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl
Yes.
2 weekends ago. But who else would be there but my nephew-in-law, one Wade McClurg. And I knew that they lost because you told me they lost.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the way that they lost.
Oh.
So I brought it up. And, of course, his
didn't want to
wife
try-
looks at me, and he's like, what are you doing? And I felt terrible, and he talked to me for a long time about it. But, man, we need some more in-depth details when we start a basketball
You didn't set me up,
broadcast.
did you?
I did. I threw you right under the bus.
Thanks.
Yeah, I did.
Appreciate it.
I was like, hey, I'm sorry. Coach just told me you lost. I didn't realize how it happened.
Last match of the night. And he gets beat 3-2.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to go down on the floor. You did a nice job, Jimmy, and we'll have Coach interview in just a couple minutes. Score here 48-28.
Looking forward to that conversation. Pleasure, as always, to the coach, Keith Myers. Free throw made by Belmer. He will have one more. Final 26 seconds in this one. All Roncalli. They're going to improve to 9-9 on the season. Free throw, though, made there by Johnson. Excuse me. Lead at 18. Rebels will cross the timeline, and they might be content just to hold and let this dribble out. Eagles might not let them, though. Might have to still pass it around to avoid a 5-second closely guarded call against them. They won't let it ride down, drive all the way down the lane. As that shot made by Hedgewood. Shot by Hedgewood for the Rebels, and that buzzer-beating attempt by Colvin off the mark. So it sets that final score. The Rebel victory, they win it by a final of 50-30. Well, for Roncalli, we mentioned they improved to 9-9 on the season. For the Eagles of Heritage Christian, and their struggles continue. It is now a 5-game skid for them. Last win back on January the 16th against Heron. They fall to 6-12, but the good news for the Eagles, 2 of their last 3 to close the year are here at the friendly confines of Heritage Christian. The post-game prayer taking place at half court. We're going to step away briefly. When we come back, we'll have some final words and then an interview with Victorious head coach Michael Wantz on Indiana SRN.
Hello, my name is Sean Kroll, and I've been a part of the Indiana SRN family for the last 9 years. Last year, we streamed a record 326 sporting events around Central Indiana. All the other guys broadcast basketball and football, but we at Indiana SRN also air volleyball, softball, baseball, and even golf. But we need your help. To continue our mission, please help us by contacting Coach at indianasrn.org. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Welcome back to Heritage Christian High School. The tradition here at Heritage, of course, once the dust is settled and the game is finished, nice post-game prayer, good show of sportsmanship and faith between these two schools. Again, we mentioned for the Rebels now at 9-9 on the season, they'll next be in action on February the 18th, 4 days from now, when they're at Greenfield Central. That's the Victorious head coach Michael Wantz. They improved to 9-9 on the year. Let's send it down to the coach Keith Myers, who has Coach Wantz standing by. Keith?
With us, Coach Mike Wentz. Nice win tonight.
Yeah, we came out and guarded well and made some shots and needed a conference win. Hadn't got a conference win yet, so we're happy with it.
Jimmy Cook said he taught you everything you know. The 18 years that you've been there, Jimmy Cook said he's going to take credit for this win.
I have a notebook that says Jay Cook Thoughts and Wisdom, and it's about a page and a half long is all it is, but we appreciate Jimmy's thoughts and wisdom.
Talk to us a little bit about the team. They're playing very, very well here. Nice little winning streak, got 4 games left. Going to be tough out in that 4H sectional.
Well, we kind of feel like if we're making shots, we could beat anybody, but also if we're not doing the right things, we could also get beat by anybody. So we're maturing as a team. Obviously a great effort tonight, and we're excited to get back to the south side and start getting ready for Greenfield on Tuesday.
Coach, you got an opportunity. It's going to be 9 o'clock here. You can still take your wife out to dinner.
Yeah, we may get some reservations for Valentine's Day. Yeah, they play a slow-down game, and that's all right with us. Hopefully the bus starts. Last year when we were up here, the bus didn't start, so hopefully they kept it running tonight.
I remember that. Good luck to you, Coach. Thanks so much. Back up to you, Jimmy.
Thank you so much, Keith. Again, that's a Victorious head coach Michael Wantz. Rebels victorious tonight by a final of 50-30, and for the Eagles, they fall to 6-12. They'll next be in action a week from tonight when they host the Rebuff Jesuit Brave. Their last of 3 games, 2 of those 3 will be here at Heritage Christian High School. Well, for our production leader tonight, the man Ben Wood, for my partner in crime this evening, the great Coach Keith Myers. Again, our final in this one, the Rebels 50, the Heritage Christian Eagles 30. Happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you. Stay tuned to our Indiana SRN website. That's indianasrn.org for our entire schedule of a jam-packed Saturday of high school hoops. And until we talk to you next time, so long, everybody.